Hi book friends, my name is Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today let's talk about everything that I plan to read in the month of December. I am continuing to mood read my TBR instead of using any sort of a game to curate what I'm going to read for the month. So I have a stack of 7 December hopefuls. The first two are books that I'm hoping to get to because both of these books will close out a series for me. And I just think that the end of the year is such a satisfying time to close out as many series as I possibly can. And as I was looking at my graphics, I actually don't have that many series to complete. Less than 10. So the two series that I am going to try to hopefully work on in December is Aurora's End. This is a YA sci-fi trilogy. Aurora Rising is the first book, and then Aurora Burning, and then Aurora's End. I highly recommend this book, even though it's YA. It is found family. It is a group of misfits who find each other and work together and accomplish amazing things. This was the first book I've ever read by Jay Kristoff, and it has made me definitely want to seek out other books of his. The second book is actually a reread for me. One of my favorite dystopian series is The Ark of the Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and so The Toll is the last book that I have in that series. He does have a book after The Toll called The Gleanings or Gleanings, and that's just a bunch of short stories that are set in this world, and I have that book, but I have not read it yet, so hopefully I'll get to that one sooner rather than later. He did recently announce that he has a trilogy prequel series in the work, which I'm super excited about. The next book I just picked off of my TBR because it was short, and I am trying to get my numbers down. Also, the sequel to this was just announced recently, and that is Murder by Memory. Look how thin that book is. I love the cover, somebody floating in space through a bunch of books, sitting in a comfy chair. This is blurbed as Becky Chambers meets Miss Marple in this sci-fi ode to the cozy mystery, helmed by a formidable, no-nonsense auntie of a detective. The next one is for a book club, and I can't believe it's taking me this long to get to this book, but with the hype surrounding this book with the release of the sequel in November, The Will of the Many. I will be starting this one as soon as possible because it is a chunker, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. And the last three I have specifically for Christmas vibes. Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. This year I read First Time Caller by the same author. It was my first book by her. It was a 5-star. It is one of my favorite books of the year. So I immediately went out and got Love Light Farms and held it specifically for December so that I could read another B.K. Borison book and see if I like her stuff, or if it was just a one and done with First Time Caller. The next one is a book that I have seen on Booktube years ago when I first started watching Booktube, and I haven't seen anything about this book in quite some time, and the only reason that I chose it was because it has the word winter in it, and it's light blue, so it is giving those winter vibes, and that is A Winter's Promise. I just love this illustration of like a floating island castle. And I know very little about this book, and I'm going to keep it that way until I start reading it. And the last book I have for my December TBR or my December hopefuls is another book that I have been specifically saving for December, and that is Once Upon a Wardrobe. And the little blurb on the inside here says, "Where did Narnia come from? The answer will change everything." I am a huge Chronicles of Narnia fan. I have a Chronicles of Narnia tattoo. And this just seems like something that is so perfect. I think that I'm going to save this to read around the week of Christmas. I have that week off, and I think that this is going to be my week of Christmas read. The only other book that I have is Good Spirits, also by B.K. Borison. This is a paranormal romance, I think, because it is a romance between a woman and the ghost of Christmas Past, from what I understand. This one I am on hold for at the library, so I am hoping that I get to this in December. Otherwise, it's going to have to wait until January. I would love to hear what you're planning on reading for the month of December. Have you read any of these books? If you're still here, leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. As always, I appreciate your likes, your comments, and your subscribes. And until the next video, happy reading.